I
Yeah.
know that is something that offends women sometimes, and that is a painful thing. But I came to the point where I realized I had to accept that I was powerless in my life because of my own decisions.
Yeah.
And that is a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
But until I was ready to be accountable, that I was the one that made the decisions that took me where I
Mhm.
was at, yes, it is an entire system of
Mhm.
patriarchy. Yes,
Mhm.
but I chose to stay. I chose to swallow my opinions over the
Mhm.
years to keep the peace. I chose to not do what I felt was the right thing at times in order
Mhm.
to maintain the peaceful flow of life, constantly betraying myself deep inside. I
Mhm.
did that. Nobody else did that. I did that. And that's a tough thing for women to face, but we have to acknowledge those things in order to climb our way out of those situations.
Well, it's important to acknowledge how insidious the culture is, how deeply it gets its hooks in,
Yeah.
so that you can participate in your own oppression. It's not a system that allows you to consciously be aware that you are being oppressed. It requires a kind of slow, yeah, I mean, I don't even know how to say it adequately. A slow sense of dread, like, have I gotten myself into something that I had no idea what I was doing at the time? Once you reach that point, then yeah, you're like, oh, yep, that's exactly what happened. I let them put me here. And of course, women suffer this most, but every Mormon reaches a point where they have to either accept where they have put themselves, where they have let the religion put them, or just go back to being completely blind.
In some ways, you do have to numb out in order to
Yeah,
remain in a system where you do not actually have autonomy.
yeah,
And that just go exactly what you said. Patriarchy hurts men too.
yeah.
It does give men more power than women. And for some men, that system is so aligned with how they want the world to work that they will always insist that it's how it should be.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
are plenty of men that have left Mormonism that do talk about that pressure and that
Mhm.
just how they also were harmed. And I think that is 100% valid. So it's not only women that it harms, but it
But let's
harms women.
being on the outside for so long, maybe I'm not the best to express this, but even simply stating it that way, even simply saying, it harms everybody. Let's be clear. If we're going to put it onto a percentage, the amount of damage done is far imbalanced
Right.
against women.
Yeah.
For every man who has nothing but benefit from the Mormon patriarchal system, how many men and how many believing Mormon men are harmed by it? It's still a small percent.
It pales in comparison
Yeah.
for sure. And in the past, it was only worse. So, yeah, just to conclude, I said flippantly at the beginning, are you ready to have your heart broken? This is not a story that got passed down in our family.
Yeah.
And when we talk about trauma, it gets passed down genetically.
Yeah, it's not a story that got passed down, but it's also not a story that shocked me in the slightest. How, I mean, by now it's fairly well known the quantity of women in Utah who need and who seek mental care.
Today,
Yeah,
right?
today. Again, how much worse it would have been in the past under a polygamous system.